Okay, let's get started. Welcome to the Saturday swim practice, bike check-in, and bike mechanic brief for the 2010 Washington, D.C. Triathlon. My name is Charles Brodsky, and I'm the race organizer. Please download the course handout, the course brief handout that goes along with this, so that you can follow along, take notes, and we've got a few additional maps on that handout for you. For the next few minutes, we'll talk about activities that take place on Saturday before the race, and the bike mechanic service is available on race weekend. On the Saturday before race day, two very important events occur. The first is the Washington, D.C. Triathlon swim practice. The D.C. Triathlon would like to thank the National Park Service, the District of Columbia government, and the U.S. Park Police for allowing us to offer a swim practice from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Saturday before the race. Now, this is the best way to see the swim course. Check out the swim buoys, test the water, see the swim ramp, and get a good visual of yourself for a T1 on race day. Now, to participate in the swim practice, all athletes must have on their wrists their race bracelet in order to participate in the swim practice. There are absolutely no exceptions to this rule. Now, that means that all athletes must go to the expo and packet pickup before swim practice and pick up their race packet, which contains their race bracelet. Now, at swim practice, all athletes must check in with event staff by the river so we know who's getting in the water and who's getting out of the water. Now, you also must wear a swim cap. Now, it does not have to be the DC Triathlon swim cap, but you do need to have a swim cap on when you do the practice swim. The practice course itself is approximately 400 meters long and turns around prior to you going under the Memorial Bridge. Now, during swim practice, much like on race day, keep all buoys on your left, and kayaks and lifeguards will be on patrol. If you need assistance, wave your hand or catch our attention, and we'll be happy to help you. Now, we recommend riding your bicycle down to the swim practice and taking the shuttle system back to the old convention center parking lot. Now, if you must drive down to swim practice and to bike check-in, very limited parking is available on Ohio Drive adjacent to the transition area. Now, in order to get your car down there to Ohio Drive adjacent to the transition area, you, the athlete, must be in the vehicle and have your race bracelet on your wrist in order to access that parking area. Now, the parking lot, or Ohio Drive parking, on Saturday is available via Main Avenue Southwest, and then you would go over the inlet bridge. Now, the second important thing that happens on Saturday, I alluded to, is bike check-in. Now, the DC Triathlon requires that all bikes, that athletes must rack all bikes in the transition area on the Saturday before the race between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Now, in order to do that, you must be wearing your race bracelet to enter the transition area. Now, in addition to that, before they get into the transition area, your bike must have the DC, the official DC Triathlon bike number affixed to it. And again, we recommend that you ride your bike down to the swim practice and take the shuttle system back to the old convention center parking lot. In addition, on Saturday, we will be body marking all athletes prior to walking into the transition area for bike check-in. Now, this will make things go much, much more smoothly on race day, so please stop and allow us to mark you on the way into the transition area to check your bike. Now, on race day, bikes and your gear can be retrieved from the transition area starting at 7 a.m. Now, realize that if you finish in time and get there at 7 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. or 8 a.m., there will still be athletes transiting through the transition area. Now, in order for you to go back to get your gear and your bikes before the race is over, again, you must be wearing your race bracelet on your wrist to re-enter the transition area to reclaim either your bike or your gear. When you do walk into the transition area, remember there are other athletes that are racing while you're in there. So please be heads up for them and be courteous to them. Now, when you go, remember there is no shuttle to take athletes back from the transition area on Sunday on race day. So we will shuttle you from the finish line back to the transition area on race day, but it will be up to you to get from the transition area back to where you're going. Now, as far as bike mechanics are concerned, on Saturday at the transition area, bike mechanics from the bike rack will be on site to provide limited bike maintenance. Now, if you have a major problem with your bike, they will not be able to fix it on site. Now, major is a little bit subjective, but minor things they'll be able to take care of, like flats and tires and small tune-ups. But if you have any major complications with your bike, they will not be able to help you. So please remember to check your bike for mechanical problems before race weekend. That's very important. Now, as a USAT sanctioned event, you must have bar end stoppers on both bar ends of your bike, so please check that as well. Now, on Sunday at the transition area, again, bike mechanics from the bike rack will be on site to again provide very limited bike maintenance. So please make sure to inspect your bike to make sure that there are no major problems. And we recommend that athletes bring a pump with them to the transition area. Although our mechanics will have them, they will be a limited resource. So please bring a pump with you and make sure that you share it with the people around you. There is no bike mechanic on duty on the bike course itself. So please bring a patch kit, bring a spare tube and tire, and some means of inflation with you on your bike. If you have a flat, you must be able to fix that flat yourself on the bike course. Now, a SAG vehicle will trail behind the very last biker. So if you cannot fix the problem on the course yourself and you don't want to walk or carry your bike back into the transition area, you can wait until help arrives, but we're not necessarily sure what time help will get there for you. So thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the starting line.